Yeah, you know, I take the approach that no matter how rough this is, we're going to get through all this. And we're going to get through this together. I got to tell you, you know, we do this Friday prayer thing. How remarkable it is with the emails that I'm getting from people who say that this is working for them in some incredible ways. I mean, tumors that are disappearing when doctors say, what the heck happened? Now, I can't claim credit for that through you in this show, but it is strange. It truly is. Next. Yes, sir.
Personal question, as far as Alex Jones goes.
Yes.
How much credibility personally do you give him? I'm on the cusp here. I'm starting to listen more.
I give him a lot of credibility. I think he is, I call him the Bulldog, because once he gets to an issue, he doesn't let go. He truly believes that 9/11 was an inside job, where I believe that it was a job that some people turned their head from and decided they wanted things to happen and kind of let them go. I'm also a believer that there could be groups and organizations beyond government that could have been responsible for these things as well. That's where Alex and I differ. But most of his work is based on actual events that he then follow-ups on. If he says there are FEMA camps, it's because he read about it somewhere and he goes out to find out.
Does he have a big research staff, or?
He's got just a few people.
Okay, let's do the question.
Thank you.
Yes.
George, for your audience that's viewing you through the web, they have questions too, so we'll intersperse them in between. So there's one right here. Go ahead, Tom.
Do you believe that our government is a puppet of the New World Order?
Do I believe that our government is a puppet of the New World Order? I do not believe our government is a puppet of the New World Order, but I do believe that there are some people within government who would love to see a New World Order and will do whatever they can for us to get there. I think elected officials, by and large, think that they're going to be doing a good, honorable job. Things change quickly when they get in office.
George, somebody wants to know if you think there's underground bases under Denver.
There may be. I don't know exactly where they are, but I think they do. And there are two reasons for this. One, I think it's smart government. That God forbid, in case anything ever happens to this planet, whether it's through massive solar flares or nuclear bombs, this government needs to continue, and they need to go somewhere. So I would be very disappointed if we didn't have underground facilities for reasons for that. Now, are they also building places to escape when those of us have to stay up here on top? Maybe. Maybe. Any more audience calls?
We're here, George.
There we go. Yes, you. You sound like a phone call when you go, is this me? And I go, I don't know, is it?
UFO Files released in June of this year or at all, I guess.
This thing going through Congress that we're not supposed to grow fruits and vegetables on our property?
Has not happened yet, but they would like to control everything.
Well,
everything. And I don't think that's going to pass, but again, it's the control factor.
Because that Alex Jones was advertising there's some place around the North Pole where they have all
It's a seed bank.
Yeah.
That's true.
For a whole acre full of plants. Boy, if you're going to be sued, you know, or fined, why do it?
The seed bank is being put away because if we get hit by an asteroid or again some other calamity, what happens if everything dies off? We have to start again. So I think that's a pretty good idea. In terms of government controlling what we grow, I don't think they're ever going to be able to pull that off.
Because I've been listening to it, you know, on coast to coast, and haven't heard anything else about it.
No. If it gets real, we'll do it, but I don't think it's going to happen.
George, viewer number 300 wants to know, do you think Obama is going to finally release any UFO files?
As I told Steve Bassett at the UFO conference that he held, the X conference, no, I do not. I do not think presidents are aware of the UFO situation.
A follow-up to that, do you think that we as a people have a right to full disclosure?
Absolutely. We should be told everything. You know, governments make the big mistake. They think we can't handle the truth. We can. We're resilient. We're tough people. We can handle the truth, and we should be told everything. Even if they have craft that they built and they're not telling us. Yes?
You had Raylene on, and she alluded to the fact that one of the most awesome people that you're connected to on your website, Sherman Cholnick, was assassinated because he was going to come out with some information on Obama. On your show, you guys never got into what that information was. Is there a way we can get that?
I'm not sure he was assassinated. I interviewed him when I was doing my local show in St. Louis. Sherman was out of Chicago, did an incredible job putting some judges behind bars who did some things too. But I can't report on things until I think they're factual. And in terms of how he died, I have to think that it was natural, but we shall see. He was a good researcher. Yes, sir.
If somebody was interested in looking into these so-called conspiracies or anything else, where would be a good starting point for them to kind of launch this?
Alex Jones's websites are very good. Infowars.com, prisonplanet.com.
All that's pretty overwhelming. I'm saying as an actual subject matter, where do you think would be a good thing for the layman?
It is so widespread now. It really is. There must be 60 websites devoted to different areas like this too. One good website, abovetopsecret.com, they're good too. There are conferences. I believe I'm going to one in June, a conspiracy conference in Northern California. They're all over the place. Yes, ma'am.
George, the whole world knows that Africa is totally, completely infected with AIDS. How, in your opinion, that can be solved?
It can be solved if they wanted it to be solved. I am a believer that the AIDS virus started in the laboratory, was released intentionally or otherwise, and they probably can fight it and cure it if they wanted to. They may have the cure put away in some laboratory right now. There doesn't appear to be this urgency to take care of that problem.
George, someone in cyberspace wants to know if you think that aliens walk among us.
One look at you would answer
I knew
that.
that was coming. I so knew that was coming.
And a similar question, what about JFK? Did he know the truth about any alien things at all?
Not sure if he knew the truth about that, but he knew the truth about something. He stepped on some toes, and they wanted him removed. It was not a lone gunman, in my opinion. Yes, sir.
Are you familiar with Richard Gage and his 9/11 Truth, the architects and engineers for 9/11 Truth?
At the group I am. His name specifically, no.
Would you be in line with the idea of reconvening another investigation of 9/11?
Yes.
Sorting that
Yes.
issue out again?
With a group of people. I think it comes across better when you have 2 or 3 or 4 experts like that in a round table, because it shows the significance of how serious this problem is. The most recent is the thermite that was found in the dust all over that area. I mean, this just doesn't happen. But yes, to answer your question, probably as we get close to the anniversary date. We tend to do these stories like during the JFK assassination day and stuff. It's just more timely that way.
Recent evidence that
No,
We have somebody who probably look at it, sure.
Sure.
Hollow Earth theory?
Sure, and as you know, they believe exactly that it was done by the Al-Qaeda terrorists. But it's always good to
Well,
balance.
they did all those tests.
Yeah, and they did that. I'd like to get their reaction to the new thermite discovery. That would be
I want some
interesting.
UFO stuff.
The last 7 email questions think that you didn't answer my original question, actually his original question.
Well, I was going to come back to that.
Okay, do you think aliens walk?
Yes, I do. I do. You know, if you believe in extraterrestrial life, as I do, then you have to believe we've been visited. I mean, are they going to work with us on a regular basis? Probably not. But I think they're here, and I think they intermingle, and they come and go.
Here's one from the web. Do you believe that the moon is artificial?
No, I believe the moon is a natural object which probably came from Earth during a collision billions of years ago.
Audience, anybody?
Yes.
Sorry if this is too specific, but are you familiar with Peter Joseph, Zeitgeist movements? And
Yes, we've had Peter on the program.
and the Venus Project? Do you have any comments on?
I think Peter is a brilliant person. I think his 2 Zeitgeist movies are excellent. I believe in the economic one, which is his second one. His first about religion, I'm on the fence partially, but I think it is well worth looking at on both of them. I like him, and I like him as an individual. Yes?
When you had Ed Dames on, were you like, oh my God? Because everything he said was like, you know, why don't I just shoot myself right now?
Yes, sometimes I do that. You know, I get more email about Ed when he's on than just about anybody.
Oh.
People want him, they want to lynch him. They want him to be wrong, but then they want him to be right in some respect too.
Can I say something?
He's been right now on a couple lately.
Right. Now with remote viewing, the further you go into the future, the more possibilities there are. So for him to say this will absolutely happen is very irresponsible. As a remote viewer, he knows better than to say that. So I was wondering, I mean, can't you question him on those basic
Only when we get
premises?
close to those dates. Now here's an example. He said over a year and a half ago, we're going to have a major economic downturn followed by a major flu epidemic. Now, did it happen that way? No, but we did have a major downturn, and we did have a so-called flu epidemic, like said. I'm watching the 2 most recent predictions he has made through remote viewing. That is, Israel attacks Iran within 5 or 6 months, and also we get a huge earthquake within 5 or 6 months. His kill shot is 5 or 6 years ago, so now he's a little more specific about
Whether
that.
he thinks so will have an impact on the release of
Yes,
UFO
sir.
Files.
George, this is a fossil that I wanted to show you, and because you brought up Ed Dames and because you asked the question about the psychology of all this subject, this is 18 million years old, dug up Santa Ana River Valley, 80 miles north of here.
Tell me there's a huge pearl in there.
I've actually broken one open and there's no pearls. But the point is that all shells that are normally found are half shells because when an animal dies, the muscle opens. Okay, this is whole. This is a kill shot shell. I found a whole bed of these large animals below, thousands of years of broken shells, all intact.
Something happened fast, killed
Something
him.
happened fast and killed them. I have one for you because Art Bell started it. The psychology of listening to Ed Dames, listening to all of the universe, the tapestry of the problems that might be coming upon us. This reminds me that yes, at some point in Earth's history, there are catastrophic events. And so when I listen to Ed Dames, you know, which I have numerous times, and yes, it really psychologically makes you wonder, what do I do? What do I do? The reason why I love your show and why I'd like to give you one of these is that I have these, I dug them up and I'm going, my gosh, this stuff might be real. What Ed Dames is saying might be real because I'm holding an animal that died in a similar situation. Whether it's the sun, whether it's the earth, whether it's the aliens, or, you know, who knows.
Can we pass that around? Oh.
Yeah.
What a catch! Woo! For anybody who wants to touch the thing.
Wait, but here.
By the way, that's how swine flu
Is there a
starts.
question there? Do you have a question?
By the way, let me finish real quick. Psychologically, your show is so valuable because I'm a parent. I've got grandmas and I've got, hopefully grandkids. All these issues psychologically disturb me when it hits the forefront.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I have to digest it, climb the mountain a little farther, and then I listen to another show, and then I go through the same thing, and then I digest it, and I climb up that mountain a little farther. So what you're doing is you're enlightening the world to what I know, not believe, I know we're coming up to some very, very hard times. And you're going to allow your audience to handle these problems much better.
Thank you. Well, I'll tell you an interesting story. I was talking with someone who was not a regular coast-to-coast listener back in St. Louis. They are not. And when we started talking about all these subjects, that you all know, that you're all aware of. They couldn't believe it. Yet the coast-to-coast audience is so educated when it comes to these items and stories. Truly remarkable. I mean, I would give you all PhDs in life compared to people who live during the daytime, for example.
George, cyberspace would like you to talk a few minutes about out-of-body experiences.
Well, I had my very first when I was 11, and it was also my only OBE. I woke up one day, I was staying home from school, and I was bouncing along the top of a ceiling. And I looked down at my little 11-year-old body and just rammed myself right back into it. I've never been able to do it since. However, I've done a lot of research into OBEs. There's no question that the astral plane exists, that, and I believe your outer body is your soul. It's your spirit. It leaves the body when you sleep, hovers over it, ever so gently, and that's how your physical body and your soul get energy by that separation, connected by a cord. The cord is severed during death, and off you go. But I mean, and the astral plane consists of different layers as well.
And along with that question, what about ghosts and ghost stories?
I believe in all of them. I believe in life after death. I don't know exactly what it is and what plane of existence they may be on, but they are truly real. And I do that based on faith and belief, and all the people who call this program are telling us incredible stories of things. And even if 1% was real, that's 1% that you have to look at. Yes, sir.
In your line of work, do you believe you've ever come across extraterrestrial packages?
You know, we've gotten some strange calls sometimes from people, and you always wonder just who the heck is on the other line. And some have claimed to be ETs, but in terms of direct, no. I've seen some people who are strange. Big heads, huge eyes. I dated a few. That was it for them, and me.
What's your opinion on crop circles?
A very strange phenomenon. A message from someone about something. Linda Moulton Howe believes it's all gearing up to 2012. And again, there's another situation. If 99% of the crop formations are man-made, that tells you that 1% out there are not man-made. Where are they coming from? Who's doing it? What's the message they're trying to convey? So I believe in crop formations. I don't know what the message is. Hello, Jason.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am. Normally, we only take a call every 30 days, but in your case, we'll let you go.
I don't want to ask my
It's coast to coast, will be all right, will be able to stay on the radio?
Yes, absolutely. As long as a solar flare doesn't wipe out all the radio stations. Yeah, absolutely.
One more web question. Do you fear the military-industrial complex and feel that they are either have absolute power or trying to get there?
I think they already have it. The big push is whether we as people can take it away. They are using it, manipulating it, creating battles and wars every time they want. And they're doing it, and they will do it. You know, that's one of the reasons why they want to take your guns away. I'm a supporter in your right to bear arms. So nobody can come into your house and tell you what to do at any given time. You've got to be able to defend yourself. Sure, believe me, every time some wacko goes ballistic and kills 10 or 15 people in a supermarket or a mall or something, I feel about that. But gun control is not going to stop that. Those people will find their weapons to do what they want to do. What you have to do is have your own protection, and that's the important thing.
George, you want to take a couple more and then sign some things for
Sure,
you?
I'd love to.
Okay. Let's do a couple more questions. Anybody in the audience?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I just have a comment. have so many viewers, and they're so knowledgeable, and yet when we want to like fight back against anything, it's kind of hard because there's not enough people locally in one area to fight back. But any way to band together, like your listeners. I mean, you have listeners that are non-Christians, that are born again, that are Christians. I mean, it's the only place where groups like this get along because of all the other common knowledge that they share. But is there any way to band everyone together to fight back?
Yeah, every once in a while we've been contemplating doing specific campaigns, whether it's consciousness or a political attack in Washington about a certain issue, and maybe we should kick that up a little quicker. Yeah.
Yeah, is there any confirmation to the fact that, or not the fact, but from what you hear, that munitions are being purchased mostly by government agencies and things like that and taking out of the private party?
Ammunition is being bought in this country at such a rate, they can't make it fast enough. One of the problems is I think government is buying more ammunition for military purposes, and the manufacturers are getting the check. And so they've been told, we come first. And by the time they get down to the mainstream, there's not enough ammunition left to go around. I own some handguns and I'm licensed to carry concealed. I'm not carrying here, because I'm not licensed here, but I am in Missouri. I waited 4 hours at a Walmart to buy ammunition 2 months ago. I was the third guy in line. There ended up being 13 people. One pallet came in to the store. It was gone after that. It was gone. And I don't see it getting any better.
Judge, we'll wrap up questions. Somebody from cyberspace would like your thoughts on
reincarnation.
Well, I believe in reincarnation. I think we've come back. Unlike most people who believe in reincarnation, I don't think we come back 100 times. They do. I think we come back to reach perfection. So maybe it takes 3 or 4 times, and each time you come back, you get a little better until you reach that stage of perfection, which some would call heaven.
If you could possibly get Roger to give up his seat, that's where you'll sit down and meet some people.
That's going to take a lot.
I know.
How about one more from the audience? One more question? Yes, sir.
How credible do you find Billy Myers' story?
Great story. How credible? I'm not sure. The one thing in his defense, they didn't have Photoshop during his day, and he was either a great animation expert or what he did was real. I think he's come across some incredible things. I really do. If it were to happen today, you could question it because Photoshop is so good right now.
Well, I don't you have a 20, what's a 20?
That's what I bring you here for. Greases, skids, and give me over. By the way, thank you for all of you for your continuing support for conferences like this and Coast to Coast. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.